everyone, it's DC here, and today I have the following news stories to cover. Banks in Mexico hacked. Citrix has been hacked by international cybersecurity, and security exploits in ultrasound machines. So we got a couple of interesting articles here. I'll start with the banks in Mexico being hacked. I'll quickly go through the story. So it says, news in today following a cyber attack in Mexico where hackers were able to siphon hundreds of millions of pesos to roughly 15.4 million US dollars from a number of Mexican banks, including number 2 Banorte, and others that are yet to be named. The criminals created fake orders that wired funds to bogus accounts and immediately withdrew the cash. The incidents are still being investigated, and it goes on, blah blah blah. So the problem here is that these smaller banks, they're focusing more on a really good user experience for the people using the banks, which is great. However, they're not really focusing on the security side of things, or patching up those vulnerabilities. So that's pretty much what that article is all about. And yeah, that's a lot of money. 15.4 million US dollars has been hacked out. If I was a bank, I'd probably be putting security first, because at the end of the day, it's the banks that are losing that money. They're not going to pass that on to their clients. The clients aren't going to lose any money for sure. But it goes on here. While financial regulators may not have paid close attention, there is also a failing in calling out how to secure third-party apps and APIs. Most of the regulations focus on securing networks, with applications left something of a black box. Yeah, exactly. Moving on to the Citrix news. So FBI informed Citrix this week of a data breach that appears to have begun with a password spraying attack to steal weak credentials to access a company's network. Virtual desktop and app vendor Citrix today said it had been alerted by the FBI on March 6th that its network had been breached. The last thing you want is for the FBI to call you up and say, hey, by the way, guys, you've been hacked. That's not what you want. You don't want that. I'm surprised that they didn't have some sort of proactive, security on there at all, or their own notice first. Usually they know first before other people say, hey, by the way, you've been hacked. But anyway, it goes on. The attackers appear to have downloaded business documents according to Citrix internal forensics investigation findings thus far, but the company said it's not sure which data was breached. So they don't even know what has been taken out of their system there. That's atrocious, Citrix. Come on, pick up your game. Anyway, moving on. Some more Internet of Things related news. The Internet of Medical Things is poised to broaden the attack surface for healthcare organizations, according to Checkpoint experts. Yeah, Checkpoint. I love Checkpoint. 87% of healthcare institutions are expected to use IoT technologies by the end of 2019, with nearly 650 million IoMT devices, Internet of Medical Things, it's IoMT just by the way, in use by 2020, states a new Checkpoint study. The study underscores the danger of what could happen if these devices are poorly secured. So this story goes on for a little while, and I won't read the whole thing because I'm scrolling down and down and down. But basically, ultrasound machines have been hacked where people are able to use that as a gateway or backdoor into the network. The machines, it explains here that a lot of them are Windows 2000 and have no patching, and because they are so old, they don't have any new security releases on them for vulnerabilities that have come out since. Very insecure, and the last thing you want is someone getting into hospital medical data. That's terrifying. So hopefully these companies that are producing these IoMT devices, machines, whatever you want to call them, hopefully they use more secure systems. I'm surprised they don't use like a Linux distro on the back end. Why are they using a Windows 2000? I don't understand that, but hey, I'm not the one making them, so who knows. Maybe they were made a really long time ago, and it doesn't say in here, but basically it goes on. It says, an attacker with this access could launch a ransomware campaign on the hospital system or swap patients' images. Think how much chaos that could do to in the hospital. So cyber criminals may use health records to get pricey medical services and prescription medications. They may also gain access to government health benefits, or they could sell it. Yeah, so if you have ever been on the dark web or an onion relay, you'll see on there for sure people selling drugs. It's all over the place, and not just any old drug. They're selling some pretty hectic stuff on there. So I'm not saying go on there and buy stuff by all means. I'm just saying what is on there, and yeah, where are they getting it from? Who knows? Maybe they're getting it from hospitals at ransom. Maybe they're stealing it from hospitals. Who knows? None of my business. This story is about IoMT devices that are being hacked because they are vulnerable and using very old systems. So that basically wraps up the hacker news for today. Don't forget to hit like, give me a thumbs up, send me some love, drop me a comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.